Aloha everyone, welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time here, please hit the subscribe button. After the video, if you like it, please hit that like button. Let's jump right into this. Before there was a Truman Show, before there was a Matrix, there was the allegory of Plato, that called the allegory of the cave to be exact. And then in this allegory, it was these three men chained up in this dark cave with a fire burning behind them. They're chained up. They can't see behind them. They can only see the stone wall in front of them. There was a small fire burning behind them. And it was figures going behind the fire that radiate on the wall in front of them. And that was the only reality they knew. Inside the cave, that's all they knew. They didn't know nothing else. And what they saw on the wall, that was their reality, the figures. And they gave those figures names. Man, horse, so they named the figures. And when they saw the figures, they would call out the name. But after a little while, one of them got free, became enlightened in today's time. One of them got free. He broke the chains and he ventured outside the cave into the sunlight. And then he came upon a man that explained to him that the figures are reality. What you see, the figures are reality, and the shadows are not. In the cave, it was vice versa. The guy was having a very hard time adjusting to the sunlight because all he knew was the cave. He was in darkness. So he had a very hard time adjusting to the sunlight where he can see reality from non-reality, the figures from the shadows. Till it finally became a time where he could see the sun directly. So when he fully knew what was outside the cave and he could see everything, he ventured back into the cave. It was hard for him to see inside the cave because his eyes was no longer adjusted to the darkness. He could no longer see the shadows on the wall because his eyes wasn't adjusted to that. So he tried to free his other two brothers. He tried to break their chains. He tried to free them and tried to let them know that what they're seeing is fake and the reality is actually outside the cave. But they called him stupid and insane and everything, and they kicked him and they shoo him away. So they didn't let this man free him. I'll bring up this story because even though this story happened hundreds of years ago, it was the allegory of Plato. A lot of y'all probably never heard that. It's called the allegory of the cave. You can equate that to the Matrix. You can equate that to the Truman Show. If you've seen those shows, then you can equate that to what's going on today. Because some of us have became enlightened. We no longer follow the religions of the world, all the dogma, all the stuff that then held us down and kept us in servitude, basically kept us in a mental bondage. And at earlier times, even a physical bondage. Religion was used to get us into a physical bondage, but now it's into a mental bondage. So some of us has broke out of that. Some of us have became enlightened to the spark within us, knowing that we have a piece of the true God within us. And the reality we see, just like in the Matrix, where all the bodies was hooked into the Matrix, and the reality actually was fake. And the reality that we living in today in this society is not the true reality. It's a reality outside of what you see in this material world. But they want to keep your mind. They want to keep your mind in the material realm, and they don't want you to break loose from this. And the way to do that is so you can keep believing in a globe earth. That's like the basic thing. Because if you believe in a plane that stretches to infinity, you're going to want to know what's outside the barriers of this world. But it's only a few of us that has grasped that and have studied that and know that. Not only that, they want to keep you confined to religion and don't want to let you know that you, just like it says in the Bible, I'm not saying everything in the Bible true. Every book has a little truth in it. Ye are gods, and you are gods. Believe it or not. So they don't want you to know that so you can become enlightened. You can wake your brothers up. You can get off this hamster wheel, out of this matrix that's fueled by this money. And to become enlightened, because somebody asked me, how do you become enlightened? First of all, the first step to becoming enlightened is you have to have knowledge of self. You got to know who you are. Not believe who you are, you got to know who you are. People, we're in a cave right now. Most especially black people in the United States, we're in a cave. The cave of the matrix. The matrix is the cave. The matrix is the cave. Enlightenment and your true consciousness, your true self. And some may ask, how do you become conscious? It's a crazy question, but I do get asked that. So somebody actually asked me that on my last post. How do you become conscious? So I'm gonna read to you because I have it on my iPad right here. I like to keep notes. To become conscious, this is just the beginning, by the way. There's various steps to becoming conscious. You gotta elevate to Christ consciousness. I'm not talking about a physical Christ. I'm talking about a spiritual Christ, and it's spoken of in the Nag Hammadi. You got to elevate your Christ consciousness. You have to change your brain state so that you function more rationally, creatively, and compassionately. It's surely lacking on the earth now. Nobody has compassion for one another. You know that through all the wars, the different slave trades. It's just madness. To elevate to Christ consciousness, you will have to change your brain state so that you function more rationally, creatively, and compassionately, and less from your fear-based, egotistic state. And we all know that most religions is fear-based. Fear keeps you in a low vibrational state. You can never elevate your consciousness if you're in a low vibrational state. It'll never happen. You serving your God or your deity out of fear. You fear his punishment. You fear hell. You fear judgment. Christians and Hebrew Israelites alike, that's what y'all fear. Y'all in a low vibrational state. So let me continue. This means you will be more at ease in the world. You have a clear mind, clear conscience, and more in flow and connected with your divine intelligence. This is the beginning steps to getting back to your spirituality. Now, I hope you guys got that. Now, I did mention earlier about you having a piece of the one. He's the one, and I don't like to say he or she, because it's both. The monad is both. The one is both. So, and you have a piece of the one within you. That's your spark. So, and I'm just going to say this because I wrote this down too. People are generally ignorant of the divine spark residing within them. This ignorance serves the interests of the archons. The archons is basically people and entities that we don't know about. that's hidden, that you always hear about. And when you bring these individuals or these deities up, people think you're crazy. Those are the archons. They're the ones that looking over the matrix to make sure that hamster wheel keeps going. So people are generally ignorant of the divine spark residing within them. Their ignorance serves the interests of the archons, who act as cosmic slave masters, keeping the light spark I mentioned earlier in bondage. Anything causes you to remain attached to earthly things, including mental concept we hold, keep us enslaved to these lesser cosmic rulers. And when I say lesser, these archons that's supposedly ruling over you, you're actually more powerful than them. You just don't know it because your mind is in darkness right now. You don't even know who you are. Most people don't know who they are. They don't know that they're actually divine beings. A majority of men and women are like Adam, who was asleep in paradise. And Adam was asleep in paradise. He had no idea who the hell he was until Eve made him bite that apple. And that's when he woke up and got punished for it. But you guys can't even see past that. Y'all think that him and Eve brought sin into the world. No. The story that wasn't what it was. But anyways, Allegory of the Cave. This is what this is about. Knowledge of the divine, not just the divine, your divine spark, but the true God and the true aeons too, because it's more than one aeon in the plural. Knowledge of everything that's above us, all that will come to you once you become enlightened and break out of this material matrix that's holding most of us down. Speak what you want to in existence, people. Okay? Words have power. So as a man thinks, so shall he go, and so shall he be. But that's all I got. Hola, hola. Until tomorrow, peace.